We have both parties along with Ms. Klassen's attorney, Brooke Wilsner. We are here on the defendant's, Mr. Klassen's motion to change custody. I will note for the record that this court did enter an ex parte order giving Mr. Klassen extended parenting time. And Ms. Wilsner, I think I'll ask you to go first, even though it's Mr. Klassen's burden.
Sure. My client was, the allegations in the motion are, for the most part, accurate. Clayson has been managing her medication lately. A pill that she was taking orally was affecting her nausea, which caused her to vomit for a few days, which led to a stay at Trinity and then ultimately Pine Rest for, I think, less than 10 days. Now that her medication has been switched to a monthly injectable, that seems to be helping. I reviewed some of her medical notes, and she has an upcoming appointment for a medical management next week or so. She's following everything that they have told her to do. I believe her meds are stabilizing, but they are working on that, and that for the most part seems to be resolved. But I understand the concerns of the court. I do believe I would concede that this is a threshold finding. Similar to my last case, I would ask that it be sent to front of the court for an investigation on custody. But in the meantime, that they revert back to what they have been doing, which is a 2-2-5 schedule. They were doing 50-50 up until this incident happened. The allegations in the motion about the trailer that they live in are moot. The parties live there together. That was never an issue. It seems to be an issue now based on this change of custody motion. If the court is not so inclined to give her back 50-50 custody of the children, we would at least ask for every other weekend in the time being, as much as possible time with her kids that she can get while a friend of the court is doing their investigation.
Because today we're diving straight into a custody hearing that catches fire right from the opening seconds. The judge sets the stage with both parties present, acknowledging that an ex parte order is already in place, giving the father extended parenting time. Immediately, the mother's attorney steps in, admitting that most of the allegations are accurate, which is a bold move in the first minute. She explains the mother's recent struggles with her medication, vomiting, hospital stays, and a shift to an injectable option that seems to stabilize things. It's an early concession and a strategic attempt to get ahead of the narrative before the father has a chance to speak. It signals that the defense wants transparency, but also wants to regain balanced custody quickly.
Thank you. Mr. Klassen?
I would just start off by saying I want the kids to see their mom eventually. I think that it's good for them. I think it's good for everyone. This has now been 4 times in the last 2 years, because my daughter, her first time was less than 2 years ago. It's been 4 times where she's had extended stays. Every time that she goes in there, it causes a lot of like I don't know what the word is, but like strife for everyone. For the second time, I think, like my son wasn't eating for like 3 weeks. We had to basically I don't know, force him to eat just so he'd eat. They always wondering what's going on with mom, why she's not at my birthdays. It's just really hard on everybody every time she goes in. And then
here's where things intensify. The attorney keeps pressing the point that, despite recent instability, her client is now following medical advice and improving. She acknowledges the court's concerns, but argues these issues are resolved enough to justify sending the case to the friend of the court for an investigation. Meanwhile, she tries to claw back parenting time, pointing out that the parents previously managed a 50-50 schedule without incident. She downplays the condition of the trailer they lived in, insisting it only became an issue once custody was challenged. It's a subtle attempt to frame the father's complaints as opportunistic rather than genuinely concerning. Her closing pitch, at least give the mother every other weekend while the investigation unfolds?
I guess that's affecting everyone, and as far as the where she lives, that I don't believe that's moot at all, because that was an issue when we were together, a huge issue, and I've never seen anybody that lives that way with kids in real life. I've seen it on TV, but every room that she has in the house is full of stuff to the point where the kids don't have a place to eat. Maybe every once in a while there's a spot where she clears the counter where they can eat. But my son has told me that he's eaten on the floor.
All right. You can't talk about what your kids told you because that's hearsay.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Okay.
And I think Ms. Wilsner. Let me kind of cut to the chase. Ms. Wilsner did concede on behalf of her client that the front of the court should have a look at this. So, and I'm hearing you say that you do want the kids to see her. So, and the court does have concerns given the most recent, issues. And I'm sure Ms. Klassen also wants the best for the kids. Is there a parenting time plan that you could agree to while the front of the court's taking a look at all of that so that the kids can see their mom and that you can be satisfied that they're safe while they're doing it?
Yeah. My concern with like having an actual set parenting time schedule before we figure this out with friend of the court is that when she has these manic episodes, she doesn't realize that she's doing it. And my two times, I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but 2 times my son has basically had to be like, hey, like, I'm with mom, it's happening again. I have like proof of these like texts that he sent me.
We're not going to get into all of that today. Okay. And again, I can't hear what the kids have said.
But that's what my concern is, that she doesn't know when it's happening.
All right.
Here's where the father steps in, and the tone shifts sharply. He starts by saying he does want the kids to eventually see their mother, but he can't ignore the pattern. 4 psychiatric stays in under 2 years. He describes the emotional fallout each time, their son not eating for weeks, the children missing birthdays, and the lingering confusion around their mother's disappearances. He paints a picture of a home life constantly shaken by uncertainty, frustration, and instability. Then he brings up the living conditions: cluttered rooms, no reliable place for the kids to eat, and even claims that meals sometimes happened on the floor. He's stopped when he tries to quote the kids directly, but the concern is already out there, loud and clear.
And again, well, either parent has the right to deny parenting time if they believe that the health or welfare of the child is in danger. Okay. You just have to, if you do that, you just have to be prepared to defend that decision, ultimately in a contempt hearing, if that goes that far. But you always have that right. I mean, the court is not going to hold it against you if you make a good faith decision based on evidence of potential danger. Okay. I just want to make that clear. But I think a schedule is important just so that everybody knows what the expectations are. And then if there is an issue, again, parenting time doesn't have to occur as long as you're prepared to defend your reasons for denying it.
Okay.
If that helps.
Yeah. I guess with that being said, I think that we should do, for now, 1 overnight during the week then, and then 1 on the weekend until we figure this out.
It just seems like a lot of back and forth for 1 week. If it may be easier just to have it every other weekend. That way, if there's an issue, the child will tell you. So I just think in order to make it easier to follow, a weekend schedule will be better.
Now the judge jumps in and shifts things back toward structure. She notes that even the mother's attorney conceded the case should go to the friend of the court, and she wants both sides to consider a temporary parenting plan. The father hesitates, explaining the biggest issue. When the mother enters a manic state, she can't recognize it, and he believes their son has had to quietly alert him in the past. The judge shuts down the specifics, but reminds him of an important rule. Parents can deny parenting time if they believe their child is in danger, as long as they're prepared to justify it later. She pushes for a schedule anyway, arguing that consistency helps everyone, even if exceptions arise.
I guess that's okay with me.
Okay. All right. So we'll do every other weekend. And do we have times and how that's going to happen?
She gets out of work. I think she usually gets the kids by 4:15 or 4:30. So that works for a pickup time anywhere between 4 and 5. And then I guess if I could get them back on Sunday around the same time, I guess that would work for me.
We'll say, oh, Brittany, do you have a suggestion about times?
Those times sound good. That sounds doable. It's just that my oldest gets out of work. He works on Sundays, so I wouldn't have much time to be with him because I'd have to get him from work, and then
What time is that? And
usually around 3 o'clock.
Okay. How about 6? Return at 6?
Fine.
that'd be great.
Okay. And Ms. Wilson, you'll prepare that order?
I will.
And we will do the referral to the front of the court, and we'll waive the investigation fee.
Now,
And
when would this be starting? This weekend or next weekend?
Mr. Klassen, any objection to starting today, given that there's been kind of a gap here?
Today is fine. But both
Correct.
of the youngest boys have football games in the morning, so she has to know the times for that. And I mean, I can work with her on that, but she has to bring them.
Yeah, Calvin has 9 o'clock at this field 4 dark jersey, so I'd need his jersey.
Yep.
And I thought Charlie's was at noon at Rockford.
It's at where he practices at East Middle, but he has to be there at 11.
Okay.
So as long as you can get him there, that's fine.
Okay.
Your Honor, are we also vacating the ex parte order in this case, or amending it?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I'll prepare that order.
All right.
Can I ask how we're going to amend that? Because I don't believe that I should have to pay child support right now while I have them the majority of the time.
Well, I'm referring it to the front of the court for all of it, but I do agree with you. I will vacate the ex parte order regarding custody, but I will leave the child support as suspended until at least for now.
Okay.
Okay.
That's clear.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. We're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This part shows both negotiation and conflict simmering beneath the surface. The father reluctantly suggests one overnight during the week and another on weekends, but the judge quickly points out that this creates chaotic back-and-forth movement. Instead, she recommends something simpler: every other weekend. It's a decision designed to limit disruption, but still give the mother meaningful time. The father agrees, though clearly uneasy. Then they move into logistics: pick up between 4 and 5, Sunday return around the same time. But when the mother explains her oldest son works Sundays, the schedule shifts again, with a new return time of 6 p.m. This is the part where both parents' realities collide with the structure the court wants to impose.